It's simple. If you make your product in America, you will pay no tariffs. April 2nd, 2025 will go down as one of the most important days in modern American history.
They are very confident that this is all going to work. But
Yes.
what if they're wrong?
They're not going to be wrong. It is going to work. And the president has a brilliant team of advisors who have been studying these issues for decades. For those watching at home, for the people you mentioned worried about their own economic circumstances, it means more jobs in your communities, which means more money, more investments, more money in your pocket.
Tariffs are taxes. Tariffs are paid by consumers. Tariffs harm our relationships with the rest of the world.
We know how tariffs work. And tariffs are paid in the United States by the importer. And most of that cost is turned over to the American consumers. Wall Street Journal, in fact, says this is a horrible idea.
Could you imagine Biden doing this? I don't think so.
You have to trust the president's instincts on the economy, okay? And why? This isn't blind faith. Remember what he accomplished in the first administration.
Prices are up, stock market's down, the risk of recession is climbing, consumer confidence is in the gutter. Are you better off than you were 72 days ago under this president's leadership on the verge of his so-called Liberation Day that's going to drive prices up even more?
President Trump says, quote, "I couldn't care less if prices go up to American families." America, you hear that? Donald Trump says he couldn't care less if you pay more.
This will be the largest tax increase on American consumers in modern times. End of story.
Good afternoon. How are we? Is the White House going to?
Some that companies or countries, if they change their policies either before tomorrow or after tomorrow, can have the president alter what he's planning for that country or that sector. Is that a possibility? And if so, what factors the president consider in making those changes?
Well, the ultimate change for these companies and these countries, Mark, will happen when they decide to do business in the United States of America.
Something today or later in the week that's a pledge for future activity, would that be good enough potentially to alter the policy?
Certainly, the president is always up to take a phone call, always up for a good negotiation.
Someone calls after tomorrow and says, hey, I'm ready to make a change, he'd be open to that.
The president is always open to taking calls.
Is the president comfortable with Americans on Main Street paying more because of these tariffs?
The president is doing everything he can, and this entire administration is doing everything we can to bring down the cost of living in this country. An inflation mess that was fueled by the previous administration's reckless spending, overburdensome regulations that this administration is focused on slashing every single day.
They all going to take effect this week on the reciprocal tariffs, and whenever they start, is that enough time for companies and everyone involved to adjust to that start date?
My understanding is that the tariff announcement will come tomorrow. They will be effective immediately, and the president has been teasing this for quite some time. It would be taking place today if not for April Fool's Day, but tomorrow will be the day, and he's been talking about it for a while, and as a result, you've seen these companies make commitments to investing right here in the United States.
Has the president fully made up his mind on the level of tariffs to impose tomorrow? We keep hearing about a 20% flat rate.
The president said last night he has made a decision and a determination. I was with him in the Oval Office earlier. I don't want to get ahead of the president. This is obviously a very big day. He's with his trade and tariff team right now, perfecting it to make sure this is a perfect deal for the American people and the American worker. And you will all find out in about 24 hours from now.